The Supreme Personality of Godhead descends into this world and performs many activities and also gives personally instructions. And Vedavyas has compiled these instructions. And other great souls like Vrindavan Das Thakur, Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami have compiled the life and teachings of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his incarnations. And the great acharyas have repeated and explained according to their own transcendental realizations in parampara. And this message is so potent that it can deliver us from all miseries. Therefore, to be eager to hear and eager to repeat what we have heard is the real path of salvation. It is described in Srimad Bhagavatam that whatever one's occupation, if it does not bring about a transcendental taste to hear and chant the glories of the Lord, then your occupation is shrama eva hi kevalam. It is a useless waste of time. Whatever we do should be to cultivate an eagerness to hear and chant the glories of the Lord. To the degree we develop a taste for hearing and chanting, to that degree we become detached from the sources of misery of material life. Therefore, this must be our goal. When Krishna sees that we are really hungry for that taste of hearing and chanting, from within the heart he dispels all ignorance and illusion. Just like if you have not had food for a long time or water, you are very hungry and thirsty, and nothing else will satisfy you. If you are starving of hunger and thirst, and someone gives you a very nice gold necklace, will you be happy with it? You may try to eat it, and if you can't eat it, it will be useless to you. If you're hungry and someone comes and gives you 1 crore of rupee notes, 500 rupee notes, and there's no place to buy food, Hare Krishna. Prabhupada said you cannot eat paper, so it will be completely useless to you. If you're hungry like that, nothing will have any meaning to you except food. The whole world will just be a dreary void without food. Sunyayatam jagat sarvam. We should have that same hunger and thirst for hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord. When we have that thirst for Krishna through transcendental sound vibration, then all the temptations of Maya become useless to us. There's no charm. So to accept what is favorable for developing that higher taste for hearing and chanting is our real duty in life. Whatever our occupation may be, we should orchestrate it, balance, and organize our life in such a way that day by day we are increasing our taste to hear and chant the glories of the Lord. This is human civilized consciousness. Not that we put aside the path of self-realization to achieve more and more and more material benefits. That is foolishness. Sometimes our students, they're so busy studying, studying, and studying, and studying, studying. I can't go any higher, but they go higher. Because they're so much afraid that they will fail their exams, that they will not get entrance into a good school. Therefore, let me put aside my chanting and let me put aside my hearing. Let me put aside Krishna. They are not afraid of death. They are not afraid of losing their position in the spiritual world. They're not afraid of uselessly failing as a human being. This is foolishness. It is ignorance in the guise of knowledge. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur wrote a beautiful song about this. Vidyaravilase. Such a sweet song. If you don't know the language, Vidyaravilase, it sounds like such a sweet song describing the dancing of Radha and Krishna. But if someone translates it for you, it's a great shock. Vidyaravilase. And then we read the translation after everyone's like this. Oh, very nice. It's nice that it's in Bengali, because the Hindi-speaking people, English people, they're thinking, oh yes, Krishna's dancing with Radharani, and everyone's like this, and then you translate, he's talking about me. He's calling me an ass, a beast of burden. That all my life I've been studying these mundane subject matters, carrying these books and learning, and now that I have come old, I realize all of my knowledge is simply ignorance. And all my studies, all my academics have just made me a stupid, foolish ass. And the more I learn, the more my heart burns with misery. Hare Krishna. Let me take shelter of hearing and chanting the glories of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So after hearing this description of the prayers of Bhakti Vinod Thakur, some of you may be asking why we do not permit you to leave college, even though you want to join the ashram. Is it that we want you to just remain a foolish ass with the terribly painful burden of academic knowledge crushing your head? Yes. That's part of the reason that you learned good lesson, so you don't want to come back to this material world again. But the actual reason is because it can be used in Krishna's service. Because your education, your knowledge, your academic abilities can be used very wonderfully in Krishna's service. But it will only be used in Krishna's service if you're developing a taste for hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord. Otherwise, it will simply be used in the service of Maya. So at every phase of life, whatever we may be doing, we should always keep our target to perform those activities which will gradually give me the power to become more hungry for hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord. Because hearing and chanting is like medicine. It is real food. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains, just as you need food grains to give you strength materially, the food grains for your soul to give you spiritual strength is hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord in the association of devotees. And whatever our pursuits may be to serve the Lord, studying may be a service to the Lord, business may be a service to the Lord, preaching may be a service to the Lord, we will have spiritual strength to perform it properly when we are sufficiently hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord. Without hearing and chanting, nothing will have spiritual substance.
You were listening to Radhanath Swami on devotionalnectar.com.